Here's how to be a better teammate in Decaying Winter, or a video that you can show other people to help them become a better teammate, in the least passive-aggressive way possible, of course. Also, just a heads up, most of the footage you see will be from the Last Stranded/Holdout game mode, so just so you know. Use your abilities to clear enemies so it's safe for damage list perks like Survivalist or Private to loot. For example, Hivemind and Arbiter are great for clearing out small groups of enemies during not only defense, but also during the looting phases. In fact, I would consider Hivemind to be similar to the Prophet because their bugs can literally go through walls and attack enemies that you can't see. So in a way, they are kind of a scout in their own way. A lot of ways there. Plus, you want to do this because it's ideal for everyone to return with a backpack full of items vital to everyone's survival. Even the smallest dirty rag bandage can stop bleeding or heal for 5 HP. And in the long run, 5 HP can mean the difference between survival and death. So really the question becomes, do you want to see your maker early, or do you want to see them a little bit further down the road? I mean, I would prefer down the road, but hey, to each their own. If you haven't yet, press that subscribe and bell button, as well as the thumbs up. It gives me a small adrenaline boost and really helps the channel. Anyways, back to the video. If you're like me and you don't trust your eyes because I've played too much Apex and Bloodhound Scouts sometimes still don't make sense, and have gotten ambushed one too many times, become a dedicated scanner with the Prophet perk. Make sure areas are secure with your scan and prevent potentially embarrassing deaths, which I can guarantee happen a lot when you have no idea what the enemies are. Or, if you don't want to commit to scanning but still want to help, ping enemies and important details with Z. It's a very important feature. It's part of the game. You should use it. It will save you more than once. Probably. Hopefully. Maybe. If you're playing a class like Hivemind or Tick Spider or any backline class that doesn't necessarily need any buffs to keep themselves alive because they'll always be in the backline anyways, go ahead and morale tank for your frontliners who will need the lack of morale buffs or morale debuffs, because those morale debuffs can be the make or break for those classes. Even if they're really good players, just having a straight up disadvantage is not the best. So again, if you're playing a backline class or like Damned as well, then go ahead and morale tank if your team needs it. Because again, those morale debuffs do not mess around. And I mean, look at this. This is literally all you do as a Tick Spider or some other backline classes. You just sit here. So yeah, don't be afraid to have those morale debuffs. Plus, if nobody dies for a while, they disappear. Now you might ask why getting rid of the morale debuff is important, and that's because it reduces all stats besides health by at least 10 to 20% and can stack up to 4 times on the standard game mode and up to 2 times on the Last Stranded game mode. Also, if you don't know what tanking morale is, it's when one player chooses to stay alive while other players reset so that they no longer have the morale debuff. I mean, you can try having everyone reset, but I'm at least 99% sure that's how you lose. But hey, if you're curious, you can try it. Let me know how it goes. Keep support perks alive. Perks like Hivemind, Sovereign, Tick Spider, and even Survivalist, although there are more I haven't mentioned, aren't necessarily the strongest in terms of staying alive or raw power, but the abilities they bring to the table are definitely worth to have in a prolonged fight. Also, if you've been blessed to have a semi-competent Lazarus on your team and they're fighting alone or have been ganged up on, help them out. Fighting without a Lazarus can mean victory or defeat for any capable team. Then again, I feel like most Lazaruses are melee powerhouses, but still, help them if you can. Unless that Lazarus is me, then you could probably just turn a blind eye and walk away. I'm gonna die eventually and pretty soon, so yeah, don't have to save me. Drop ammo for teammates if they ask for it. Unless they're absolutely horrendously rude and irritating, drop them some ammo, especially if you're not using it or don't even have a gun for it and are only keeping it just in case you find a gun that uses it. It's better for everyone to be able to defend themselves than a select few. More guns equals more damage output, which means more enemies dead, which means higher chance of team surviving, which means yay, we win. Another small factor is to manage your ammo correctly. In other words, if you're a risk runner with a full ability percentage and you see ammo, but there's an artillerist on your team, have the artillerist pick up the ammo, since your perk's cons would only decrease the amount of potential killing power your team gains from that ammo. And based off the math we saw in the last tip, less ammo equals bad. Also, do make sure to communicate with teammates when you're throwing grenades, placing mines, or detonating C4s. Accidentally crippling, or even worse, killing teammates can completely flip a playthrough on its head. Unless you're trying to, then go ahead, but make sure they're okay with, I guess you can't make sure if somebody's okay with getting trolled. Make sure that you're a friend, and like a really, really good friend that doesn't mind getting trolled before you do that to them. If you are a frontline perk, don't be afraid to take some damage to buy time for other players. Just do make sure to watch that health bar, because you also don't want to gift all your allies with a morale debuff. And hey, even if you do give them that gift, learn from it, and if people talk smack, don't take it to heart. But if they give valid criticism, then you should start taking notes. Would you look at that? A solid life lesson found its way into this video. Neat. And finally, which you've probably noticed over the course of this video, is to communicate with allies. Communication is such an integral part to any team-based game, and Decaying Winter is no different. Whether it be in voice chat or in text chat, communicate. You don't need to explain every detail like if you're taking a step up some stairs, but saying where you're going to loot can save so many seconds because then another player knows that, hey, someone's going here. I'll go somewhere else so that we can maximize the little time we have before some jacked up guys come and try to kill us. Or it could be something else like combining scraps for craftable weapons or workstations in the Last Stranded's mode. Or something I want to see a lot more of is to help players instead of belittle them when they make a mistake. Not everyone plays the game at a certain level of expertise. There's literally no reason to not help someone enjoy the game as much as you do. So bam, communication. Whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, love it or hate it, it's vital to Decaying Winter's gameplay. Anyways, if you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for spending some of your sweet, valuable time watching. I hope this advice helps you in any way possible, and sure, some of it is basic, but it's always good to know the foundations which everything else is built upon. But that's all I've got for today, so roll the end credits. Bye.
Hey, subscribe. You don't have to, but you should. Hey, yeah. Ah.